On these now, we're going to move on to writing the equations of lines. So you can have all sorts of beginning starting points for writing the equation of a line. In this case, the beginning point is a graph of a line. So we're looking at the line. So we want to use y equals mx plus b. So I need to find the m, I need to find the b. So the b is the y-intercept, so I look and it's crossing at 4. So that means my b is 4. It's going to be a plus 4 at the end. And my slope looks like it crosses exactly at a corner there. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this goes down 3 to the right 2. So I have a negative 3/2 slope. So my equation is y equals 3/2 x plus 4. So when you're given the picture, if you're good at graphing lines, it's pretty easy to write the equation. When you have an equation written in standard form like this, where the x and y are on the left and you have a constant on the right, you have to rearrange. So the first thing you do is you move the x over. Technically, you're subtracting x from both sides, but really just think of it as moving the x over and changing the sign. So that'll give you negative 4y is equal to negative x minus 28. Then you divide by the number on the y, whatever coefficient is there. And you will probably get a fraction on the x because it's a slope. So don't panic if you get a fraction there. So the negative 4's cancel out. Y is equal to positive 1/4 x. Negative divided by negative is a positive. And then plus 7. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So that's how you rearrange an equation. If you are given a point and a slope, you could use y equals mx plus b and plug these two numbers in for x and y and plug this in for m and solve for b. I have a lot of students who like to do that. I prefer to use point slope, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So then this is your x1 and your y1, and you're going to leave this x and this y, the regular x and regular y, in your equation. So if I have minus and negative 3, that's going to be y plus 3. My slope is 8/5, and then x minus and negative 5 is x plus 5. So then to simplify, you leave this side alone and distribute this through. Now it's usually going to be a fraction. So you take the top, think of this as 5/1. What you're doing is you're taking 8/5 times 5/1. You're not taking it times 5/5. So if you can cancel with the bottom, go ahead and do that. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and then 8 times 1 is 8. You can also multiply by the top, so 5 times 8 is 40, and then take that answer divided by the bottom. You times by the top and divide by the bottom. So 5 times 8 is 40, 40 divided by 5 is 8. You also can save your reducing till last and just multiply straight across. 8 times 5 is 40, 5 times 1 is 5, and then 40 divided by 5 is 8. Notice you get the same answer however you think of it in your head, okay? I like to think of it as dividing and then multiplying the answer by the top. So this is going to give me an 8, and now we subtract 3 from both sides. And so y is equal to 8/5 x plus 5. Okay? So using the same strategy over here, y minus 4 is equal to 5/2 times x plus 3. This one's going to be more complicated because the 3 is not going to cancel out with the 2. So I'm going to have y minus 4 is equal to 5/2 x plus 15/2. So again, you have 5/2 times 3/1. You can't divide anything, so 5 times 3 is 15, 2 times 1 is 2. So now we need to add 4 to both sides to get our y alone, but when I add 4 over here, I have to change 4/1 to 8/2 because it needs to have a common denominator with this fraction. So basically you're just taking this number, if it's a whole number, which it usually is going to be, times this denominator. 4 times 2 is 8, and then you put it over the denominator, okay? I just think, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so I just change 4 to 8/2. However you need to think of it that makes sense in your head to you is fine. 5/2 x plus, and then when you add fractions, 15 plus 8 is 23, and you leave the 2 alone. You leave the denominator the same. So those are trickier when you end up with a fraction as your y-intercept.